I'm going to pick one Force Effects Black Series winner, so be sure to comment below which one you want.
I've accepted the truth that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father.
That name no longer has any meaning for me.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Anakin was full of love and curiosity as a child. His development into his teen years under Obi-Wan developed a sense of unfulfillment from his master and the Jedi, feeling caged and constricted to his full powers that he knew they were just withholding from him.
I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me.
This, coupled with the death of his mother and the nightmares of losing Padme, were enough reason for him to change into the masked menace we've all grown to love. Palpatine's patient manipulation on Anakin's fears finally drew his prized apprentice to the dark side and at his service until the end of his life.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Lord Vader.
While Vader lived in agony and turmoil his entire life, it makes one question, didn't Palpatine ever fear that Anakin still remained alive within his mind somewhere? Hidden beneath all the callous hatred and rage that he subdued himself into with the ways of the Sith for the rest of his days, did Palpatine ever sense the good that was in Vader, the sliver of his past life, of Padme, the remorse he may have felt for the atrocities he had done towards the Jedi? There are several sources for our answer and analysis in today's video. The first is from this scene here, which I'd like you to pay attention to just how Palpatine refers to Vader and Anakin as two separate people, when we all know clearly they are one.
I have no doubt this boy is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker.
He repeatedly does this in the comics as well.
This fixation on Kenobi that is a part of you that is still Skywalker. You must purge it from yourself. Anakin Skywalker is dead. Only Darth Vader lives.
It will be as you command, my master.
Good. Let us get on with the serious matters regarding our empire. There is much to do.
Constantly telling Vader the sooner he detaches himself fully from that who is Anakin Skywalker, the sooner he can truly unlock his full potential in the dark side. The second piece of info is from the Return of the Jedi novelization, which goes over Palpatine's thoughts once Luke comes into the picture. What's ironic about this is that Yoda for so many years spoke about the Sith and the dark side clouding their judgment in the Force. Once I read the line, you'll see that fate went full circle and the Force now betrayed Palpatine's clairvoyance when it came to Luke and Vader. How only Vader could feel him, and Palpatine feels a block in the Force for the first time.
I felt him.
It was almost a taunt. He knew the Emperor was frightened of young Skywalker, afraid of his power. Only together could Vader and the Emperor hope to pull the Jedi Knight over to the dark side. He said it again, emphasizing his own singularity.
I felt him. Strange that I have not.
The Emperor murmured, his eyes becoming slits. They both knew the Force wasn't all-powerful, and no one was infallible with its use. It had everything to do with awareness, with vision. Certainly, Vader and his son were more closely linked than was the Emperor with young Skywalker, but in addition, of a cross-current he hadn't read before, a buckle in the Force he couldn't quite understand.
I wonder if your feelings on this matter are clear, Lord Vader. They are clear, my master.
He knew his son's presence. It galled him and fueled him and lured him and howled in a voice of its own. Before we continue, I want you to take note of how the Emperor told Vader, "How do you feel about this matter? Is it clear?" It's essentially another way of Palpatine making sure Vader knows just how he is supposed to feel about the matter. So as we can see, Palpatine for the first time felt a buckle in the Force he never came across before. This was the power of the light side, and something only Anakin and his son shared. The piece of Anakin that lived in Vader until the very end. The shard of light that broke through the darkness and sacrificed himself to save his son, and in return bring peace to the galaxy. That is, until Snoke came and ruined everything again. For Palpatine, he always knew Anakin was extremely conflicted and moody. He was consoling him his entire life. Knowing Vader blamed himself for Padme's death, The conflict was always with him even after he donned the suit. The conflict began to rise faster once Anakin told him about the Sand People and his mother.
Remember what you told me about your mother and the Sand People?
Then the confusion of choice between killing Dooku on the Shadow's hand. Do it. And then sacrificing Mace Windu or letting Mace kill Palpatine.
You must choose. No.
And the teased cure to Padme's death along with it.
To cheat death is a power only one has achieved. But if we work together, I know we can discover the secret.
Everything was a conflict, and it was this very conflict that Palpatine preyed upon for decades, wedging the doubt open, conversation by conversation.
I need your help, son.
Until finally, Anakin caved and became his apprentice. The novel also explains just how Vader couldn't wait to kill Palpatine, to take over his throne and dread the emptiness of becoming the Emperor himself. There were tons of times he actually thought about killing Palpatine. The first was when he spoke about it to Padme on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith.
I am more powerful than the Chancellor. I can overthrow him.
Then again in the novelization when Sidious told him in his anger Padme was killed. Vader stayed loyal to him for two reasons. Because he was all that he had left, and because he wanted to grab every piece of dark side knowledge from the genius Dark Lord that he could, to complete his training, and then, just like Palpatine did to Plagueis, and every Sith apprentice to their master, the apprentice kills the master and becomes the successor. Vader felt complete at the Emperor's side. Though the emptiness at his core never left him, it became a glorious emptiness in the glare of the Emperor's cold light, an exalted void that could encompass the universe, and someday would encompass the universe when the Emperor was dead. For that was Vader's final dream, when he'd learned all he could of the dark power from this evil genius, to take the power from him, seize it, and keep its cold light at own core, kill the Emperor, and devour his darkness. Palpatine was right to believe Vader was conflicted by his emotions. Even with his full loyalty to him, however, he never thought Vader would turn on him the way that he did, which was why he'd always speak about Anakin in the third person, as if it was someone completely different and detached to Vader in an effort to brainwash him in believing that Anakin Skywalker existed no more. Palpatine was right to believe Vader was conflicted with his emotions, even with his full loyalty to him. However, he never thought Vader would turn on him the way he did, which was why he'd always speak about Anakin in the third person, as if it was someone completely different and detached to Vader, in an effort to brainwash him in believing that Anakin Skywalker existed no more. Unfortunately for Palpatine, we all know that he did. Was Vader right for wanting to turn his son to the dark side? Do you think that's truly what Anakin wanted, or it was purely Vader thinking those dark thoughts, while Anakin stayed dormant, waiting to escape?
You can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny.
Let me know below, and shout out to all the Obi-Wan users writing hello there. I laugh pretty hard every time I see those types of comments. If you made it this far, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. We're nearing 500,000 subscribers, and honestly that's something I really had no idea would even be possible when I started this channel, which was always and will always be to express my passion for Star Wars. Along the way I've met some amazing viewers, and although the Facebook inbox is always flooded, I do my best to answer many of your emails and messages, and I really live for all the little chats that we have on there. And I would just like to say that it is because of you that this channel has grown so far. Anyone can put up videos, but if they don't have the loyal support from you, then it never really gets anywhere. So thanks again for making this happen, and this is just the beginning for Star Wars Theory. I promise you.
I promise you. I will even learn to stop people from dying.
If you made it to this far of the video and heard this little message, let me know in the comments below. I like taking note of the extra loyal viewers for random giveaways that I'll select. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. And if you like this one, please hit like. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
the Force will be with you.